Terry, I think you're silent, I think, on the stream.
All right, I'll start over here. I had my mic muted. Sorry about that, guys. I just want to give a quick overview of what we're going to talk about today. But first, welcome to everybody that is on the stream. Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us for a few minutes today. I expect this will probably be about a 30-minute stream, and then we can do some questions and answers at the end if you guys want. But we're going to be talking about the new user interface today. I'll show that at the start, and we'll go through and talk about it. It looks a lot better than the current one if you've seen, any of the little demos we've released of it. And then we're also going to talk about the new sewer system. And when we do that, Marco is going to be talking about it mainly. Marco is our lead level designer, who's on the Twitch chat with us, Twitch stream with us today, and talk about kind of the purpose of them and so on, of the sewers, kind of the design goals of them. And then in addition to that, we're going to be talking and demoing the torpidity in the unconscious system, which should affect the gameplay quite a lot in this game. There is a lot of items and that affect the torpidity, or of a player, where you knock players out and they go to sleep and so forth, and then you can loot them without actually having to kill the players and so forth. So we'll demo that for you as well. And then there's a couple other things we'll show and demo as far as for items and some things coming up that won't be in patch update 49, but it'll probably be dropping in 50 that we've been spending a lot of time as well. So to start with, I'm going to go ahead and show you the new main menu system that has been being developed. So we've spent a lot of time on this. We know that the current UI system in Miscreated has been severely lacking for a long time, and I can say that it was functional, well, somewhat functional, but horribly designed because I was one that originally designed it. And programmers usually aren't the best when it comes to designing stuff. But anyway, so this is kind of the general look of it. It looks a lot better, obviously, than the old one does. So I'm just going to go through and quickly talk about it. And you guys on the stream with me, if you want to mention anything, just feel free to jump right in as we go through it. So I'm kind of going to go in reverse order. There's a new patch notes screen. So this is kind of the general theme of it now. The look and style, look and feel of everything. As far as for the settings menu, there's a lot more as far as for options we want to add here. I think internally we have a list of, what do you think, Kendrick? 15 options, maybe 20, that we have on our internal Jira issue as far as for what we want to add. And yes, full screen window is there. That's the borderless windowed mode, and that does work. So that'll be coming in the update as well. So, we try to make it a lot more usable as well than the old system. The old system was really clunky. Audio. The key binding screen now, there's different categories, which will make it a little bit easier for everybody to use when you're rebinding all your keys. And this is pretty sparse right now, but as I mentioned, there's more stuff we're going to be adding to all this, especially the video options, to give you guys a little bit more control over, optimizing your game and so forth. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and join the server now. Player setup's still pretty basic. And then as far as for joining the server, this is the new server browser window. There's quite a few more filters down here on the bottom we're going to add after this update. They'll probably come in update number 50 as well. By default, though, when you first bring the window up, it's only going to show you official servers. And then you can uncheck the official checkbox on the bottom to view all servers. That way it's very obvious to people which ones are the official servers if they want to join official servers. And it will also filter out all those fake official servers that people have been trying to have in the server list lately. So this will only show you all the official ones. Yeah, the ping's quite high. Our development server we test on is actually in the Netherlands, and I'm in the United States. So that's why it's so high. Give me a minute here while I join the server. As far as for questions, go ahead and throw them in chat. Hopefully the guys on the team will be taking note of those, and we'll go through some of those at the end so I don't get distracted or sidetracked too much. I do see some questions in chat, so I appreciate those, but hopefully somebody's making note of those and we go through all those. Or just remember at the end, and I'll ask and just, you know, paste them again. Okay, there's some mutants I'm probably going to have to kill here. So give me a second in case they are here. One thing you'll notice right away is the stats bar on the lower right. There's quite a few options there now as for those status bars. We added 2 more at the top. The very top one is your stamina. So for example, if you jump, you'll see your stamina go down now. And the second one is your torpidity value. And when that gets too low or to 0, you're going to be knocked out in the game. But we are really aware that that's just a lot of information. So, and I don't know if it'll be an update 50 or not, but we'll start hiding the status bars that aren't needed. You know, if you're all the way full or whatever, we'll just be hiding those. So you only see the relevant ones, which will help clean that up. All right, so the sewer system. So I'm in Hayward Valley for you guys. I presume most of you are well aware of the city, but just in case you don't, this is the main city in Miscreated. It's a pretty massive city, and it's only getting bigger every update. But there's this entire sewer system now that Marco and his team has created underneath the city that you can use to go to quite a few different places. Okay, Marco, I'm just going to kind of go down in the sewer and kind of start walking around. If you want to start, you know, go ahead and start talking about them, you know, to them about it.
Yeah, sure. Well, the main purpose of the sewers is that there's a more tactical approach going into Hayward. As you know, there used to be just going through the entrance roads, and there's probably about 3 or 4 different main roads to get into Hayward. But now there's a whole new way of getting into the city. And it's quite a popular destination, so now you can do it in stealth. So you're not on the street level. You're now going underground and going to key locations. There are actually 8 different entrances and exits to the sewer. Some of them more hidden than others, but most of them go to key locations like the police station, behind the scaffolding with the tarpaul on it. So you know, everyone's favorite spots in Hayward Valley. So it should be a lot more fun to enter the city undetected without getting shot from people on the rooftops, and it's really fun to explore as well. The whole network of tunnels is probably about 2.5 kilometers, 3 kilometers. So it's quite a hefty sewer system. It's probably taken me about 3 to 4 weeks to assemble and piece together. So there was about, I would say about 10,000 different hand-placed hand-placed props and items to really detail it out and make it feel very immersive and very realistic. So it's very modular that we built it, so we can actually replicate this in any other city or any other town or anywhere on the map for that instance. So each tunnel piece is separate, and we just click them together to make up a different maze or a different combination. Let me see. Another thing that was very important to me, and probably for everybody else, is performance. Because with that amount of objects under the ground, you could imagine it would be very intensive on your graphics and CPU power. But the way I've set this up for this is we use something called viz areas. So when you're above ground and you're looking down where the sewer should be under the ground, it should never render. So that you should have 0 to little impact on performance, which is very good news. It seems to be working very well in our dev testing. We've been testing it extensively, which is pretty insane. Yeah, it's go on, Terry. I'll let you.
I was just going to say, so I haven't explored very much of the sewer system, so I'm just kind of running around in here for now. So you guys that are watching on the stream, uh, yeah, I'm literally just kind of doing random stuff, just trying to give you an
Yeah,
idea. But it's really big, as Marco mentioned. I know there are also some Easter eggs in here, I believe, as well that you can find.
there is one Easter egg.
Okay. So I'm not going to go that far. I don't know where it's at, but I haven't seen it when I was running through there
Yeah,
earlier. So
you're nowhere near it at the
okay.
moment.
Yeah, but as Marco said, it's huge. You said there's what 2 kilometers? I think you mentioned.
There's about 2.5 to 3 kilometers worth of tunnels.
Okay.
It's quite a maze.
Yeah, and there are items that spawn in here. I have seen items.
Yeah, I've tried to make every section of it very unique. Every entrance is got its own unique set of props, or just configuration of props. So you kind of learn which entrance you're at and which entrance you're coming out of. Over time once you've got used to it.
Okay.
But yeah,
We do have some more sound effects coming for it. Like we have some Steam sound effects, and there are some fans in here as well. But I don't know which way to go to find the fan. So there will be some more sound effects. Right now there isn't a lot in here. So I do know some of that will be coming as well. But I know that I'm probably going to have to teleport out because I'm probably going to get myself lost doing this.
I think if you just keep following up this tunnel, you'll eventually find an exit.
All right. So
I am 30 seconds. I am 30 seconds delayed, so
Yeah. Yeah, I turned around and went back. So let me just run this way and I'll see. I was trying to find the fan, one of the fans.
Yeah, I don't think you're in an area for one of the fans. There is going to be a 9th entrance to the sewer system. It's just that I didn't have enough time to finish it. It connects to another part of an underground area, which I haven't even talked about yet. Is yet to be announced. Graham's very hard at work at constructing it and modeling it all.
Yeah, so the purpose of this is once you learn the sewer system, then you'll be able to basically sneak around inside of Hayward Valley pretty easily and move around underground and pop up through the sewer entrances and exits and so forth. So it's just one other way of we kind of look at Hayward Valley as kind of the end game. If you want to think of an end game in Miscreated, it's you start off in the starting areas and get all your equipment, then you go up to Hayward Valley and you're supposed to have these big epic battles, and there's good loot up there, and it looks a lot more diverse than the rest of the game with the huge buildings, and now it has this massive sewer system underneath it and everything. So it just adds a lot more variety to the game as you kind of go, to the north in our map is the goal.
Yeah. But like I said, that this whole model set is modular. So if we want in future, we can add it to other towns and cities.
Okay.
It's just that we're just rolling it out in Hayward Valley first because it's the main big city, and it just makes the most logical sense. But after that, we can definitely add it to other areas if we really want to.
Okay. All right, give me just like 30 seconds here, and then I'm going to teleport out.
You're already lost.
Yeah. I do see a comment about ladders. We'll go ahead and talk about ladders. There's been a lot of work done on the ladders in this update. The ladders is one of the things that was causing the invisible players issue. And many hours have been spent on ladders and testing the ladders to try to fix all of those issues. And the animations have been adjusted. The way you get on and off has been adjusted. Quite a lot of that stuff has been adjusted for this update as well.
Yeah, that was my task for today, was to replace every single ladder in the game with some newer ones that actually work a bit better.
Okay. I'm going to teleport out just because I don't know how to get out of the sewers. I'm lost already.
Okay.
So give me a second here, guys. All right. Now I'm back where I started. Hey there.
Hi.
Is that Hendrik?
Yeah, it's me, Hendrik.
Okay. All right. So I have my inventory open, and that's kind of all what I want to show for the sewers. Like I mentioned, there's a lot down in the sewers, and like I said, there's an Easter egg in there. I thought there's more than one, but there's one I know of that you guys can find when you're down there. But yeah, they go all over underneath Hayward Valley, so they're pretty complex underneath there. So what we want to do now is kind of do a demos of the new torpidity and unconscious system. This is something that we've wanted to add to Miscreated for a long time as a way of knocking players out and kind of incapacitating them instead of your only option to be killing players. So Hendrik, do you want to let's have you shoot me, and we'll show them.
Okay.
Just shoot me once to start with. Okay, and I don't know if you noticed the second bar down is the torpidity that went down, and now it's slowly going back up. This is the effect that will actually knock you out. And my screen's kind of going weird and blurry. The effect on it now. Okay, so now I'm knocked out. I get the little message saying I'm unconscious. My screen goes black. Okay, now I'm starting to wake back up. All right. All right, now I'm standing back up. So when a player is knocked out now, you can loot them. And also, if you tie a player up, you can loot them. But it's been changed now to where you can loot everything on the player. Before, you couldn't loot all of their items. But now, on the inventory screen, you can actually loot everything on a player as well. So that was one of the changes we made. Yeah, this is a new weapon. It's a tranquilizer gun.
It lasts for about 30 seconds. This time I woke you up with the adrenaline syringe, so you wake up in about 10 seconds. And normally the last 20 seconds you will see your surroundings, and the first 10 seconds will be total blackout.
Okay. Yeah, so this is one that there's several new items we'll go through here in a minute if you want to, we'll probably talk about some of these at the end of the stream, but one of them is this adrenaline syringe. And so if somebody's knocked out and you have a syringe, you can go up to them and use it on them like you'd use a bandage, and it'll wake them back up instantly. Okay. There's several other items in the game as well that you can use to, kind of knock players out if you find them. You want to talk about the other items, Hendrik? That have been added?
Yeah, the salt will also now wake up players, like a smelling salt. And then we have 3 new gas grenade types. The sleep grenade, which will just knock you out. Then the nerve grenade, which will kill the players. And then we have also the tear gas grenade, which will basically do a little bit damage, but not too much. And also apply a bit of torpidity and stuff like that. And then, of course, the gas mask and bandanas and the dust mask protect a bit from the gas grenades. And the gas mask is the only one that protects 100% from them. And for the shotgun, we added beanbag ammunition, which will still apply damage, but will also apply turbidity and will also be able to knock someone out pretty effectively. And of course, the tranquilizer gun with the darts we already have seen now. And another thing we changed is that the rubbing alcohol can now be consumed. So when you drink it, you will go unconscious. And the same applies to the other alcohol types. But for those, you need to drink a lot more. So that's about it for the new items and for the unconsciousness.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this unconscious and torpidity system, as I mentioned earlier, it's been a lot of work to try to get this in, both from the standpoint of making a lot of items that can both kind of knock players out or put players asleep, as well as items that will counteract that. So you can go both directions on the there's a lot of items like the the syringe you'll want to use, and if you find those, you'll probably want to keep those around, especially if you're running around in groups. So if a player in your group gets knocked out, you can wake them back up instantly and help them get back in the fight. And also, there's a lot of UI changes. Well, some of the UI, there were UI changes that need to be made. A lot of coding changes that had to be made. A lot of animation systems that need to be adjusted to handle knocking players out and waking players back up and so forth. So this has been one of the one of the larger features we've probably ever added to the game. It's one of the reasons that we've been, I think, about 5 weeks now since our last update. Is we're trying to spend a little bit more time now working on some of these larger gameplay features, where before with our 2 and 3 week release cycles we were doing, we just couldn't get these major features in. So it was always these little features we were working on instead. So now we're working on kind of these larger game-changing features as things goes on.
Yeah, if you try to eat, for example, the rotten apple now, if the sickness or poison effect is applied, then you will have a limited stamina as well and limited turbidity. So you will go unconscious faster and can jump less at the moment until you cure it with antibiotics or the antibiotic bandage.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so there have been a lot of as Hendrik mentioned, there's quite a lot that have been changed because of this. We're hoping this adds a new element to Miscreated. Instead of just run and gun and shoot and kill players, there's more of a reason to knock them out. So one of the things that is being worked on that's had a lot of time spent on as well is kind of an item degradation system, and this will not be in update 49. But a lot of work has been done on it, and it'll probably be rolling out in update number 50. So items will all, if you shoot somebody, you'll damage their items. Depending on where you shoot them at, there'll be protection based on what you're wearing. Whether you're wearing helmets or kind of a ballistic vest, all those will protect you against taking damage as well. That should be in update 50. But all of your items get damaged. As you use items, they can degrade and get damaged as well. And so a lot of that, so there's been a massive amount of work that's been done, in that for that feature as well. That won't be in 49. We want to spend a little more time testing it before we roll that one out, but that'll probably be coming in 50 as well. And all those systems we hope will make a lot, just the gameplay a lot better and more diverse in Miscreated. So it isn't just the same thing. Hey Hendrik, they want to have me knock you out so they can see what it looks like. So as I mentioned, now you can loot everything from the player that you want. Before, you couldn't loot all the items, but that was changed, so you can now loot everything on that player. Let's see here. I need to put this in here. Oops, sorry. All right, so that's kind of the way it works there. So I think this will be a lot more fun for you people. I hope you're, this is one of those game changers. Will be, should be fun. Can you knock out mutants? I'm just kind of glancing at chat. You can't knock out mutants yet, but that is on the plan as well, as to be able to have some of this stuff affect mutants. But most people, I think, there's really no advantage to knocking out a mutant. I think you just kill them. But yeah.
Should we try out the gas grenade?
I have a gas mask on. Let me remove my gas mask and I'll go jump in the grenade. How's that?
Okay. I'll throw it here to the garage.
All right, let's check your throwing skills out.
So it applies more when you are in the center of the range. And it will also increase the time you are unconscious as the gas is still streaming in. So you will now see the full unconsciousness cycle for Terry. When you are unconscious, we decided that voice over IP will still be working, so you can talk, but you can't move or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody's asking, you can handcuff players if you knock them out as well.
Yes, while they are unconscious, you can handcuff them, and you can also do it beforehand and knock them out then.
Right. The wake up is what I use the adrenaline syringe for. That's the prompt you see is wake up.
So when you see now that turbidity reaches 70 again, he will be able to stand up. So it's about 13 seconds once the gas stopped. And it's also probably a good thing to knock out a group in closed corners, for example, when you trap them in a room or something, for example.
Right. Yeah, my torpidity is still going down, Hendrik, but so we may have something to look at there. But yeah, so as Hendrik mentioned, the grenades will be really useful. You know, if you're trying to get somebody out of an area, you can chuck a grenade in and knock them out, and it works against more than one player as well. So you can actually use it as a group.
The turbidity going down is actually the right thing. The higher it is, the more unconscious
right.
you become.
Some of our bars, 100% is good, and some of them 0% is good. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's Asian.
All right. Henrik knows what he's talking about. He designed the whole system. So, all right. So now I'm back. But as he mentioned, there are a couple other grenades that got added. We went through these earlier. The tear gas one, and all these kind of have a different purpose. One reduces players' stamina more. One reduces their torpidity more to knock them out. And the other one does damage to players as well over time. So they all kind of serve different purposes. Let's see. I have a couple other things I wanted to show quickly, and then we can jump into Q&A. So one of the things we're adding for base building is a solar-powered generator. So you'll be able to craft this from parts you find. And I believe this is in the powered parts guide, so if you have the powered parts guide, this will be available to craft for base building. Let's see. Yeah, somebody. I was playing with it earlier. Somebody mentioned there is a red headlamp now that you can use that emits a red light. That's what you can kind of see here. There you go. So I was using that down the sewers. There's a few other miscellaneous things that got added. A lot of stuff got adjusted as well. A craftable wolf pelt rug for your base if you want to use that. You know, just some trivial things that got thrown into. All right. So that's kind of the end of what we want to show you for today. What the plan is right now, because this has changed so much gameplay, adding this unconscious and torpidity system to the game, we're actually going to push this out to the experimental server. I expect that'll happen sometime tomorrow morning, so people can switch to the experimental branch on Twitch and test it out and help us find anything that that might be broken before we push it to the live server. Yeah, these are the new cars that Carl is working on instead of the old crappy cars. I like your Hawaiian shirt. It's awesome.
Are you able to go back in the sewers again, just in case anybody missed it?
Yeah, you can. Let's kind of do questions now. Like I said, that's kind of the end of what we wanted to show, but I can kind of show some of the stuff again for people that came late. Oh yeah, craftable axe. There's a craftable hatchet axe and pickaxe as well that you'll be able to craft. I'll go ahead and go down in the sewers, but if you have questions, post them in chat. I know some of the team members have been pasting stuff, so I'll kind of go through and see things that I've missed and try to cover those.
Another thing we added is also some new animations for the inventory, like the animation when you open your inventory, you will see it now on the characters, and the pickup animations when you pick up an item will now be playing.
Yeah, it's like pickup animations and so on. Yep. As far as from mutants in the sewers, yes, the plan is to add mutants in the sewers. Right now, there isn't any in here. And what's happening with kind of the AI system in general, I'll talk about that, is Kythera, or Moonclider is the company, Kythera is their product, but we refer to them as Kythera. They're currently working on finalizing moving all the mutants to our optimized animal system. And then once that happens, we'll start increasing the AI counts. They're very close to it. They've actually done all the work, and it's currently disabled in this update. So we'll be testing that and hopefully rolling that out in update number 50 as well. But it's now one of those things where a lot of work has been done over the last several weeks and months. All right. I'll wander around the sewers. If you have questions, remind me of questions, guys, if you would. And I'll try to see what, which ones I can catch this or.
There's one about the invisibility bug.
Yeah, as far as we know, we've fixed all the invisibility issues. And if you guys are playing on the experimental server, if you can try to replicate anything like that again, please let us know. But a lot of work was done on eliminating the invisibility, the invisible players issues.
Okay, there's one about when is prone coming?
That is a good question. I'll just mention that again. Prone, give you guys a quick little update on prone. So CryEngine has an issue with prone. It doesn't support prone by default. And so we've been working on, well over a year, now and then, trying to get prone into the game. We've been fixing bugs in it in almost every update and testing it. And so we're getting close. But that's one of the features I think we're going to really prioritize here soon. From a tactical standpoint, it makes a lot of difference having prone in a game. You want to lead me to the fan if you know where the fan's at?
Yeah, if you go under the water through the tube that you went through.
Under the water here? I'll wait for the stream to update.
Obviously, like 30 seconds behind.
I will sit and wait.
And then if you turn left, and then follow that. No, wait a minute. Yeah, you turn left, you follow that.
All right, let me know when you've updated. Let me know if this is one I need to swim underneath.
Yeah, you turn left and you turn right and you follow that, and then you turn right again and follow that, and then you'll find the fan.
All right. Here we go.
There is a question about scopes coming into the game. I know we have a few of them for hunting rifles and things. I don't know if you want to update everybody on that as well.
Yeah, we definitely want to add more scopes to the game. A lot of this is more technical limitations that we need to overcome in CryEngine rather than just us not wanting to add them. Scope is one of those where we have to do the screen overlays for the scopes and everything. And let's see, is it down there or straight? I don't know which way it is. I'm at a spot where I can go left or straight. I'll stand and wait while I answer questions.
Okay.
New mutant designs, yeah. We definitely want to add new mutants. Again, we've kind of put the AI system on hold while Kythera catches up and gets everything working and optimized. But once that is done, then we'll start shifting back over and working on AI issues again. Okay, on a strict RP server, we really need to know two things. Will the tranquilizer darts... Oh, it's going off my screen. So, will the tranquilizer darts and nerve gas be included in the damage logs? Hendrik, that's a question for you if you're here.
Not yet, but maybe. I'm actually not sure. We will look it up.
Okay. And then when will we be able to have access to a new log which shows structure-based damage? So I presume when somebody's attacking a base, the damage done to base parts.
Yeah, we could add this, but yeah, we haven't decided yet, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's something we should have a discussion on then. Okay. When can we loot a body when other players are nearby? You want to give him the good news on that one, Hendrik?
Yeah, the player took loss one has been removed, so it's now working like this, that you can open inventory. One person per inventory can open it, and it doesn't depend if someone is close to it or not.
Okay. So in other words, it's been fixed, so you shouldn't have that issue anymore.
Yeah.
All right, I'm lost, Marco. I don't know where to
I'm I'm a poor navigator. If you go back the way you came and just keep continuing past the tube you came out of originally, where you swam out of. This is when I'm going to get all the blame Marco tweets coming in.
I don't know where I came out of. I'm already lost again, Marco.
All right, go right. I'm 30 seconds behind. So.
I know. I'm just going to kind of wander around for a minute. But...
Yeah, you just wander a little bit around. I wouldn't mind you showing a bit more off of the sewers. I think it would be great if you test out the sleeper grenade on Chris and on Hendrik as well. That'll just make my day.
All right, I'll do some more questions. I'm going to sit here and you tell me which way to go. Okay. Well, I'll answer some more questions. I apologize. There's a ton of questions I'm missing, guys. So I'll try to get some of those. Ghillie suits, yes, we want to add that as craftable. Set a spawn point, no. We're not going to add that, sorry. Miscreated in Steam Market. Are you referring to like buying and selling items? If not, there are no plans currently to add that. We've talked about maybe doing something with cosmetic items in the future, but that would be something after beta, something where we get past all this initial phase, all the base game is done. So that's something we'll discuss eventually. FOV adjustment, that's one of the adjustments we want to add that I mentioned to the advanced video options. So that is on our list, yes.
Well, there's a couple questions about floating bases they would like to know.
Yep, that's still being worked on. It is not in this one, I apologize, but we're very aware that you guys find that extremely annoying. There is a change to plot signs in this update, though, where people can't stick their plot signs up on top of things like telephone poles and tops of trees and stuff like that. That will not affect any current plot signs. It'll only affect people placing plot signs from now on. Just so, you know, going forward, those will only be able to be placed on the terrain and on rocks. So no more of those weird plot signs.
And this is for non-whitelisted servers as well. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. If you have a whitelisted server and you have the build anywhere, you can still do anything you want with plot signs. That's kind of up to you. Do you know where this? You know where the fan is, Fafby?
Yeah, sure. Follow me this way.
Okay.
Turn right.
I have a guide.
Sorry, I'm not in the server today.
Hope he's better than that Marco
one of the reasons why. Yeah, I should have jumped into the game and guided you everywhere. Someone's asking about snow. There's no plans for snow at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to get caught up on chat here. Temperature is still going to be added, yes. Attachment spawn rates, were those increased, Hendrik?
No, there's no change to the spawn rates in general, but of course the new items have been added into those spawns.
Okay. Aha. There we go. That's one of them. Let me turn off my fancy light. So they've been kind of doing some fun stuff with lights and fans and so on as well. There's other fans in here, right? That isn't the same one I saw earlier when I was running around.
There is quite a few.
Okay.
And there's some I have to change at some point as well. And we will be adding sounds to them as well eventually.
Okay, Adam is saying that spawn rates of attachments were increased. So yes, you'll be able to find attachments easier now. Let's see. What do you think the next map expansion will be, Marco?
Well, there's a couple things that I've teased on Twitter. There's obviously there's the new town, because I've mentioned it quite a few times. Obviously, I've been kind of diverted away from that to this new sewer system for 49, but that is still a very long term project of mine, is to get this new town built. And there's been some sneaky pictures I've seen on Twitter of people seeing it from the edge of the map, and they kind of zoom in and see some buildings in the horizon. So everyone's correct where the location is going to be. There's also I haven't publicly said it, but everyone's noticed it. There is a dam. There's a huge dam you can see from Brightmoor up there, and we have one of our artists, Sirkin, working on the dam actual model itself. So that whole area from the dam to the new town is something I'm very much working on. And then there's obviously another underground area I'm working on in Hayward, which I haven't talked about yet. So
okay, all right.
I'll leave that for a secret for now until I'm a bit further along with it.
Okay, just a couple more minutes for questions, guys. Let's go another 4 or 5 minutes. Are you planning on adjusting the view model for some weapons so they don't look like toys? Are you referring to like the the first person view? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Like this? Or I'm not sure. But anyway. Fix the camera shake when you press Alt. Again, that's a technical limitation because of the way we had to implement our own simulated first person. We do want to fix it though, but it's a pretty technical issue to fix that. It isn't something that's trivial to do.
There's a question about jumping off ladders at some point. So when you're like midway, could you jump off a ladder?
Hendrik, do you want to even talk about ladders anymore?
He's sick of ladders at the moment. Go on.
No, you can't jump onto ladders or off ladders.
Or off of them, yeah. Yeah, the ladders... Go ahead.
Try to make sure that there's no more bugs with them, that you can't fall down, that you have no problem using them, and that they do their job, but you can't like slide down, you can't like jump off, and you can't jump onto them.
Okay.
The thing is, I can control the speed of how fast you climb up and down ladders. Maybe in the future, maybe we'll increase that at some point, so it's not so tedious to climb up a huge ladder, especially like the water tower ladders. It just take because I was testing them today, and it takes quite a long time to go up them. But it's a possibility. Maybe we want to increase or decrease the speed of climbing ladders, but jumping off it doesn't seem very likely at this moment.
Okay. All right, a couple more questions, guys. Let's see. Weight be increased. Yeah, there are no plans to increase the player's weight for now. Yeah, I know my throwing's pretty awesome. I was trying to get down in the sewer, if you can tell. I'm sure some of you guys are a lot better at this than I am. Anyway, yeah, I suck at it. Let's be honest. Can you hear people under the ground if you're above ground? Yes, for now you can. We've actually been trying to work on a way to eliminate that so you don't hear them. Same with mutants. If you're underneath the ground, there's a mutant above you, you'll hear them for now. We're trying to figure out how to do that with CryEngine's sound system. Just in general, I think a lot of you are aware of this, but we've really pushed CryEngine to the max of what it's kind of made to do for this style of game. This is a massive game, a really complex game, millions of items and bushes and vegetation instances, and it far exceeds, I think, what they ever envisioned somebody making a game with, as far as the complexity. So there's quite a few things that we have to customize and alter and fix because of that. Can you knock out players with melee weapons, Hendrik?
Yes, it's possible, but at the moment it won't happen very often. Basically, when you reach a low health state, like 4 health and are bleeding, then you will become unconscious, and then you have a short period where someone can bandage you and heal you, or you will die, basically.
Okay. All right. Any news moving to the new CryEngine? I'll give a little update on that as well. So Crytek is working on their CryEngine 5 system, as most of you know. That's still under a lot of development from Crytek, and they've also been making a massive amount of fundamental changes in CryEngine. So at this point, it's unlikely that we would ever move to CryEngine 5, but I'm not going to say impossible. We would have to fix a lot of code and just change a lot of the game now because of it. So I wouldn't count on it. Yeah, I just don't know if it's even worth the effort at this point with how much they've changed. Will the craftable hatchet require a guide?
No, I don't think it does.
Yeah, I think it's a default recipe. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
There are the forest spawns around the map, which we're still kind of working out the kinks in it because it's quite difficult. We've put a bunch of forest spawns around, and they spawn like mushroom sticks and rocks, so you don't have to have a crafting equipment like the hatchet to harvest rocks or sticks or anything like that. But we found in our testing that it's quite difficult to see. Yeah. So we're just kind of ironing that out at the moment. But as it stands, that they do spawn, but it's probably not ideal from our vision. But they are there if you want to collect them.
Yeah, yeah. So there's, I think Adam mentioned there were 3,000 spawn locations he added to the map or something for rocks and sticks and so on. So as you're running around, you'll probably see those and you pick those up, so you don't have to deal with pickaxes and stuff. But I do want to add kind of a better way as well. Let's see. I'm just going to answer a couple more questions, and that's it. As far as for new like rifles and stuff in this update, there are not any coming in update 49. There's still several we want to add though, but yeah, not in this update. I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of the menu because some people were asking about that. As soon as this gets down to 0. Yeah, I already mentioned storage. We're not going to expand storage for now. The next thing is increasing the AI, which is animals and mutants, getting a lot more of those in the game, and then we'll go back and look to see if we're going to add other stuff in the game. You add too much stuff at once, you're going to break everything. And mutants right now is a lot more important as far as for playability and making it feel like a survival game.
Terry, one of the other questions I've seen pop up there, people are asking about the duping issue that has been encountered on the live servers.
Yeah. Yeah, we've spent a lot of time trying to replicate the duping issues, and we've been able to kind of partially replicate it. For some reason, it's a lot harder, it appears, on our dev server. But that's something we're still looking at fixing. So yeah, it's definitely being worked on still. I don't know if that'll be fixed before we push... Like, as I mentioned earlier for you guys that weren't here, we're going to push this to the experimental server first because of all these core system changes. And we're going to still be working on bug fixes and so on. And so that's something I'll be working on, is the dupe issues. So I'm still hoping we can get that in before it actually gets pushed out to live. Alright, let's see. I'm just going to take a quick look. What about doors? Doors are still planned to be added, but it isn't just adding doors. We're going to add a system to where we can do a lot more than just doors. So it isn't just dropping doors in.
Do we have a planned time for the experimental server to pop up for everybody to join and
Yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow
this
morning. We'll do some more final testing today, and so look forward to something to go out on Twitter tomorrow morning is the plan, unless something unexpected. All right.
And somebody was just asking about the player too close message.
Yeah, that's fixed. Hendrik addressed that earlier. It's fixed, so you won't get that message anymore. Right now, the way it works is one person has exclusive access to a container, like if you're opening pants or a chest or something, and nobody else can access it while a player is accessing it. So that too close message is gone.
Yeah, and you can also access like player inventories while swimming again, and when a container moves too far away or is not there anymore, then your inventory will just close.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close the stream. I appreciate all of you guys joining and getting some more information about the game. The entire team that's been working on this, from everywhere from developers, the animators, the modelers, to the testers that are helping us. They've been putting in a massive amount of time over the last several weeks to try to get some of these big features in, and I personally want to thank them on the stream for all the work they do. But if you have questions, some people will probably still be around in the chat, so you can still ask questions, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. And thank you for joining today.
Thank you, guys.